Because let's face it, the worst thing your reps can do is spend a third of their day, 2/3 of the day mired in sales activity with deals that are never going to close anyway. So what we really want to do, and this is extremely important for anyone out there who's managing a sales team, you want to start measuring how many deals your reps are disqualifying and start tracking that as a percentage, just like you do with qualified deals that are moving forward in your sales process. You've got a problem, and it's the best kind of problem. You have too many leads and too few reps. And I'm gonna guess this is happening to more and more people right now than ever as teams try and kind of slash headcount and become more efficient with less headcount. It's the classic do more with less. But here you go. You're in a situation where you have too many leads, too few reps. What's the problem? Why do I even call this a problem? Well, this is what's gonna happen. At some point, your CEO or your boss or manager, director, whoever is above you is gonna come to you and they're gonna ask, what are you doing to maximize those leads? And your response can't be, we're gonna work harder. We're gonna try and go after the good ones. Like, do you even have metrics to be able to back that up? Either of those assertions? Probably not. No, instead, what you're gonna have to get good at doing is actually disqualifying leads, not qualifying them. You're gonna have to get better at weeding out the bad leads in order to focus your time and energy of your team on the best leads. But how do you do that without adding even more headcount or even more obligation on your reps to call and get a hold of those people? And how the heck are you gonna measure that? Because if you're like most sales managers, I'm guessing that you right now do a great job of tracking new leads that come into your funnel. How many of those leads become qualified leads? And then how many of those qualified leads become converted leads, closed won deals? And that's fantastic. That's the first step for sales management always. But here you have to manage something different. You actually have to track how many of those leads don't become qualified, but actually become disqualified. And that's actually something you're now gonna have to focus on. Well, great news. Kixie's an awesome tool to do it, and we have several partners that can make that job even easier through the use of AI. So I'll talk a little bit about how I've done it. So right off the bat, I'll admit, I tracked very well conversion from new lead to qualified lead. But when I'm asked, okay, how effectively are we disqualifying bad deals? I don't have a percentage to throw out there, and I'll tell you why. Because if I just measured the number of my leads that my reps have closed lost in between a new lead and a qualified lead, what am I gonna get? If I start measuring that and telling my reps that's important, they're gonna just start taking deals that don't look so good to them and just marking them closed lost without even talking to them. Every sales rep is gonna, I even hold it against them. That's what a sales rep is gonna do, because that's easy. It gets presumably bad leads out of their pipeline, and they're gonna make that assertion not based off of long communication with these leads, but just glancing at them and saying, oh, that's a Gmail account. Oh, that's an account from a country we don't really get much business from. That account just doesn't look that good to me. And they're just gonna mark it closed lost because they don't have time. But look, we're in the world of AI, and thankfully, Kixie integrates with some amazing AI partners, and we track and record every single call that your reps make. So what do we want to do? Well, optimally, we want to track how many of those leads that your reps are disqualifying, they're closing as a bad lead. And we want to be able to be sure that they're doing it after having a meaningful conversation with that lead to make sure that it really is a bad lead they're disqualifying. But again, I can't ask my reps to do that. And if I ask a middle manager to do that, now what? They're going to have to go and review every single call my reps make to see if they've had meaningful conversations or not with these deals and before they mark them lost. I mean, that's crazy. I'd have to hire more middle managers, which again is the very thing the CEO or boss is not gonna let you do. Add headcount. Thankfully, you don't need to add headcount. You need to add Kixie and maybe a third party like Ask Elephant or Triple Session, third party conversational analytics tools that utilize AI to make this job a lot simpler. Let me explain how. So right now, you track qualification date, probably, right? When are those deals qualified? And you track close date. But we wanna start tracking disqualification date. And we can't rely on the reps to do it because the reps are going to just put a date down that's arbitrary just to get the deal out of their pipeline and move on to stuff they want to work, right? So we need the AI or some third-party tool to do it. So here's how it works right now for our own internal team and how I'd love it to work for your team too. New deal comes in, reps reach out to them. Reps qualify the deal, great. It goes through the typical qualification phase that you already have built into your process, and Kixie's recorded the call to make sure those deals are qualified correctly and scored correctly on a tool like Ask Elephant or Triple Session, which is doing the analytics of the call and scoring that call in terms of, are you asking the right discovery questions, qualification questions, that kind of thing. Fantastic, that's what we've been doing. But now we want to tune that AI to something a little different. We want to start turning that AI to the disqualified deals and having it not your reps, but it actually make the decision of whether that deal was successfully disqualified after communication or whether it was just closed lost by a rep who didn't want to work it. And this way your managers don't have to do it either. So what we do internally, when a deal gets disqualified in between the new deal coming into the pipeline and the qualification phase, a deal gets closed lost, we have the AI running an analysis of the call that's already pre-recorded on Kixie automatically without you having to do a single thing. It looks at the deal and says, okay, that rep disqualified it, marked it closed lost, said not a good potential buyer. Why did they do that? Well, let's take a look at the pre-recorded call that Kixie served up to our AI platform and say, boom, right there. They asked the great qualifying questions. They determined that person was extremely price sensitive, wasn't willing to move forward this year, just kicking tires, whatever the reason might be. And then the AI, through an automation that Kixie provides, will automatically create a disqualification date field, fill it in with the close date that the rep is marked, and start measuring the disqualification of your leads. That's how you go back to a CEO or a leader that you have to report to and tell them, hey, look, not only are we doing a good job of qualifying deals, but what we're doing an even better job at, in light of the fewer resources we have and larger leads, we're disqualifying inopportune opportunities, right? We're disqualifying things that appear to be opportunities, but are actually just time sucks for our reps. Because let's face it, the worst thing your reps can do is spend a third of their day, 2/3 of the day mired in sales activity with deals that are never gonna close anyway. So what we really wanna do, and this is extremely important for anyone out there who's managing a sales team, you wanna start measuring how many deals your reps are disqualifying and start tracking that as a percentage, just like you do with qualified deals that are moving forward in your sales process. And how do you do it? Just to recap, you're gonna do it automatically. You're not gonna have to hire more sales managers. You're not gonna have to hire more sales reps. You're not gonna have to do a bunch of spreadsheet work that I know you don't wanna do. Instead, what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab a seat on Kixie. You're gonna grab a third-party tool like Ask Elephant, Triple Session, any of these things, they all integrate with Kixie. We have an open end of our platform that allows it to integrate with almost any conversational intelligence AI tool out there on the market right now. And we're gonna plug this in so that it automatically tracks not just the conversion of qualified deals that are moving forward, but how many of your reps are successfully taking deals that are never gonna buy your product anyway, or they're gonna use up a ton of your time figuring that out early and close losing those deals in the sales process before it gets to qualified and really put a bow on it. It's gonna do all of that, and it's gonna bubble that up through a report automatically in Kixie that's gonna flow right back to your CRM because we integrate natively with almost every major CRM out there. And you're gonna have a report that not only shows how much of your pipeline is moving from new trial or new deal to sign up, but also new deal, new trial to disqualified before it even got to a qualified stage. Once it's measured, now you know it matters. And that means that you can start reporting up that you are actually doing what every boss is always telling you to do. You are doing more with less, and not just less money, less of your time, less of your effort, less work in spreadsheets, less having to hire middle managers. And that means a whole lot less CEO breathing down your neck about how you're maximizing your leads. I know that's pretty wonky, but I'm hoping it is helpful to you. And if you have any questions on how to actualize this for yourself and your team, go to Kixie.com, sign up for a free trial, or contact us. We have active reps who are experienced now in this because I'm making them do it themselves, who are happy to walk you through this process, set up the automations, integrate Kixie with a third-party platform, and get you rolling right away. If you love this advice and you want others like it, you like geeking out on sales knowledge, sales management knowledge, all you gotta do, like and subscribe below to follow even more of these videos as we create them. Thanks so much.